Is love truly forever, or is it just a fleeting spark? And what about marriage? Does it really bring happiness, or is it simply a practical arrangement? Sex is physical, driven by the principle of pleasure. Love is emotional, guided by the principle of ideals. Marriage is societal, built on the principle of reality. These three things are completely different, and in most marriages, it's nearly impossible to perfectly unite all three. That's the cold, hard truth about marriage. As we continue exploring the fascinating realities of love and relationships, here's something you may not want to hear. No matter who you marry, you'll eventually have regrets. Why? Because no one is perfect. A financially successful man might not always be around. A man who has time might not meet your financial expectations. A man who makes your heart race might not offer you security. And the honest, reliable man might not catch your eye at all. This is why happiness in marriage isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about two people accepting each other's strengths and flaws. When we're young, we think love and marriage are the same thing, that love is the foundation for a happy marriage. But as we grow older, we realize the harsh truth. Love and marriage often have little to do with each other. Love is pure and romantic, but marriage is complex and practical. The idea of 7-year love has now shrunk to just 5 years, 3 years, or even 1 year. So what is love? Love is the poetic expression of our desire to reproduce. It's like a hero's dream in the middle of an exhausting life. But marriage isn't about romance. It's a partnership. Two ordinary people agreeing to face life's challenges together and become better versions of themselves. At its core, marriage is an institution, a practical economic relationship. It's about two people collaborating, sharing risks, and supporting each other through life. If you read marriage laws, they're mostly about dividing property. Historically, men were responsible for mating and women raised children. There were no life partners, no concept of love. But when personal property became a thing, wealthy men wanted to pass their assets to their biological children. This led to marriage as we know it, a system created to ensure lineage. Marriage has its pros and cons. A fixed life partner provides stability, but it goes against our biological instinct to reproduce freely. To reconcile this conflict, modern society encourages us to suppress our instincts and reframe them into something beautiful, love. You don't remember people. You remember how they made you feel, how deeply you cared, how alive they made you. As the songwriter Li Zongsheng once said, love is a fever and longing is an unshakable thirst. But scientifically, love is just a chemical reaction. Hormones decide love at first sight. Dopamine fuels the initial passion. Adrenaline determines whether you take action. Self-esteem decides who confesses first. And life's practicalities determine who stays and who leaves. Dopamine, the feel-good chemical, gives you that magical feeling when love begins. But here's the catch. No one can sustain that chemical high forever. Over time, your brain clears out these chemicals through natural metabolism. This process can take months or years, but when dopamine fades, so does the passion. Love returns to its normal state. Did you know that divorce rates for arranged marriages are significantly lower than for love-based marriages? Why? Because parents don't care if you love the person. They only care about compatibility and practicality. This is what truly matters before getting married. Many people enter marriage thinking they've made it. But the truth is, marriage isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of a new, more challenging relationship. If you don't realize this, you'll likely face disappointment. In every bad marriage, there's a part of yourself that's contributing to the problem. Who you marry doesn't matter as much as how you live with them, because at its core, marriage is about living with yourself. Love is like fireworks, brilliant but short-lived. Marriage, on the other hand, is like a bowl of warm porridge, simple but sustaining. Some people think love is about finding someone who's 100% compatible, but the truth is, no one is born your perfect match. It's only through living, growing, and working together that two people become each other's perfect halves. Romance isn't just the wild passion of love. True romance is when two people, even in old age, keep their promise to stay together until the end. To learn more about the truths of human nature and relationships, explore the content on this channel.